All right. This is Dave with Anthony Realtors, and I'm back with Sean. Today, we're going to talk about multiple offers. It's a topic that we get a lot from our clients here in Fort Wayne. And Sean, what you got for me today?
Hey, David. Thanks for having me on the channel
Yeah,
again. Like you've already said, we'll be talking about multiple offer situations.
yeah,
So the first question that I have for you is, in your current market, are you seeing a lot of multiple offer situations?
yeah. We sure are. The houses that are presented well, they're marketed well, and then they're priced in a way that gives buyers value still. Those are the ones that are getting the multiple offer. So it's fall, and the market's cooled down just a little bit, but even then, we're still seeing the multiple offers. Yep.
Okay. From a buyer standpoint, when you're competing in a multiple offer situation, is the only way to win the listing to offer the most money?
No, that's a good question. No, it's not the only way. There are a bunch of other ways, actually. You can the loan type. So if one buyer is offering a conventional loan or going to use a conventional loan, and buyer B is doing a government insured loan like a FHA, VA, or USDA loan, all things being equal, usually a seller is going to be drawn to a conventional loan just because there's a greater chance of it closing. And then down payments. So if one buyer is going to be putting down a larger down payment, usually a seller, all things being equal again, is going to be drawn to that. There's things you can do like that we do sometimes, and that is a buyer will write a personal letter, just a story about their family, include a picture with their family, and just get really personal. So touch the sellers on like a personal level. So if a seller is seeing 4 or 5 different offers, it's just writing on paper. But when they're actually able to see like what the potential buyers, that are going to be in their home, sometimes that makes a difference too. Um, you can also remove contingencies from your purchase agreement. That is something that we see as a way to make your offer stand out. So you can, if you want to get extreme, you can remove a home inspection, and it's not always recommended and is obviously entirely up to the buyer. But a home inspection is not required for any type of loan. So that is something that they can do, that all things being equal, if they really want the house and they're comfortable with their own assessment of the condition, then that's something they can do that is going to make their offer stand out. And that is something that we're seeing more and more. Another thing that our office does is we will reach out to the listing agent when we have a buyer that's interested before they make the offer, and we're going to have a conversation with the listing agent. We're going to find the seller's motivation. We're going to ask for, why is the seller moving? Just some things that we can then go back to the buyer and tell them, they don't need to be out for 60 more days, and they're gonna, they might be building a house and they want to be in this house a little bit longer. So if you can extend the closing, or you can give them more time possession, that could be something that really doesn't cost the buyer any more money. That would set their offer apart. So those types of things, you definitely don't need to be the highest price, although, people do like the most amount of cash in their pocket. The sellers do at closing, but we got a lot of creative things that we do that gets our offers accepted at a higher rate, I think, than normal through in our market. So long answer, but that's what we do.
Yep. So how important is it to be pre-approved in this sort of environment?
It's everything. So being pre-approved is critical. If you're going to get a loan, we want to be showing houses to people if they're not pre-approved. So if you want to be in offer mode and you want to make a competitive offer, that's just a very basic requirement. A seller won't even typically look at an offer that doesn't come with a pre-approval letter. And going back to your last question, having a pre-approval is critical. And then having a pre-approval from a reputable lender is also vitally important too. So again, all things being equal, if you have 5 offers and your offer is the one that's with a great lender that most real estate agents trust, and they extend that trust to their clients, their seller clients, then that's something that can make your offer better too. Yeah.
Okay, great. So as a seller, what should you do before the property is listed if you expect multiple offers?
You need to be ready. So you need to be ready. You need to have a plan in place. So if you have a feeling that you're going to be getting multiple offers, and you'll usually know pretty soon from when the time your house is listed. So from the showings that happen quickly and the feedback that you're getting. So have a strategy in place with your real estate agent, and you're going to want to be able to clearly communicate to other agents and their buyers. We're going to be responding to offers at this time. So if your house gets listed on a Wednesday and you get feedback or you get offers that night, then you got to tell people, we're going to respond at noon tomorrow, noon on Thursday. But definitely have a plan in place, and don't go into it without some sort of like clearly communicated objection. So our objective, and then and then the other thing that I would do is just expect to not be in your house for a while. So if you're going to get a lot of showings right away, you're not going to be home. So take your dog, take your kids, go to a friend's house, go do something. So, yes, sir.
Gotcha. Well, let's say you receive a bunch of offers in the first couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Should you decide right away, or should you wait for more offers to come in?
That's a good question. Again, it depends on the offer. So if it's a really compelling offer that comes in right away, you might want to decide that you might want to respond to that offer. Of course, you want to allow for time for exposure for the market to be able to come in and decide. So there's definitely a balance to strike with that, and you should talk to your real estate agent about when the best time to make your decision. You can go too far out. You can extend it for 3 or 4 days and then upset people who made the offer. And sometimes they'll get so upset that they'll just withdraw their offer. I've seen that before. For usually the first 24 to 48 hours, you'll know. And almost always your first offers for your first buyers are going to be your best offers. So those are going to be your most motivated people. So definitely rely on those to be the ones that are usually going to be the ones that you're going to typically win out. I mean, not all the time, but those take very serious. So if you get a really, really good offer, like I said, right away, and it's everything you want and more, you might just want to respond to that one first.
Okay. Can you think of any circumstances maybe where it's maybe not the best idea to take the highest offer?
Yeah. So, like I said, people obviously like the most amount of money closing, but if you've got 2 offers, say, in one offer and the house is $200,000 list price, and one offer is just $200,000, they're putting 20% down. It's already priced, at the maximum point for the neighborhood. You've done a CMA. You talked about that with your agent, and the other offer comes in at 205. It's an FHA loan, and they might ask for $3,000 help with closing costs, which would put the net amount at 202. Well, the other offer that is 200, where they're doing a conventional loan, that might actually be a better offer for you, especially if you're concerned about appraisal issues. So if you're already kind of at that high point where you're not even sure if it's even going to appraise for that, inflating the price another $5,000 to cover part of, or $3,000 of the buyer's closing costs, it doesn't usually make sense for a seller. And I actually typically advise sellers to strongly consider the lower offer that has a better chance of closing. So that's a situation where the highest price isn't always the best price. And then also just like the terms of the offer and the contingencies, if a buyer makes a higher price offer and they have a bunch of contingencies in there that you just don't really want to deal with, not all the time is making $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 the best thing to do. So you really need to find your motivation. If it's getting the deal closed, and you might want to strongly consider a lower price offer at that point.
Gotcha. Well, those are all the questions that I have. This has been a lot of great information. If people want to ask you more questions on this topic, how can they go about reaching out to you?
You can call our office, 260-747-4400. You could check out our website, fortwaynehomehub.com. That will guide you to us. And you can, if you ever were just curious about your home's value, we have a home valuation button on our website. It's just going to give you a high and low range. And then if you want more information, of course, you can reach out to us on that, and then we can give you just a more detailed opinion of the value. But if you have just any general questions, just reach out to our office, and one of our agents, we're all kind of on the same skill set and knowledge, so we're all be able to effectively help you, guide you through the process.
Sounds good. Well, thanks again for having me on the page again, David, and looking forward to next time.
All right, have a good one.